Jake just had a $7,000 week. Was it last week?
Yep, last week.
At 18 years old.
When I was on break from my school, I worked at Lowe's Foods. It's like a little grocery store stocking shelves. I did it for like 3 weeks, and the most I probably made was like $800.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We have an amazing story today. Jake Feta Place is with us. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect. So Jake is 18 years old. How long have you been on the team?
Exactly 2 months now.
Yeah, 2 months, dude. The dude's, in my opinion, brand new. And Jake just had a $7,000 week. Was it last week?
Yep, last week. Yes, sir.
Last
July
week.
21st to the 27th.
That's great. So this is current right now, just turning into August 2025. This is happening all over the place. We have reps that have been out for not very long. This isn't a job that takes necessarily 6 months to see real income. Like if you have the work ethic, and he's going to break it down here in a second, but if you have the drive, the work ethic, and you listen to the training and you do the work, you really can start making good money pretty quickly. I don't think I've heard very many stories of people that it's taken them 6, 7, 8 months to actually have a good month. And if it did, it was really because maybe they weren't all in, maybe they took vacations, those kind of things. So really excited to break down your story today. I know you have a cool background and you're pretty much like the exact guy we're looking for. So we want, people to hear this and be like, okay, yeah, it's possible for him. It's possible for me. So we'll get to the 7 grand week. So I just want to emphasize really quickly, making $7,000 in a week, verified income at 18 years old. Like that is not just like top 1% earning. Like that is a drastic percentage above what people even know that is possible, right?
Right.
And it's not funky numbers. You close a deal that week, you get paid on the next pay cycle. There's rare occurrences where it's delayed, but for the most part, you're not closing and getting paid 3 months if they don't cancel or some crazy like
Exactly.
different roofing options. This is
Exactly.
truly you close it, you get paid. So it's awesome that you're going to see that money as an 18-year-old. Your next big challenge realistically is going to be managing your money and not going and buying those crazy things, that we see. So that's you're
Exactly.
learning that lesson very early. So I'm excited to hear you talk about that. But let's go back for a second. 2 months ago, I want to hear a little bit. I know you came from ROTC. Am I right about that?
Yes, sir. So I went to a military high school. It was essentially a boarding school, but essentially a lot of pressure came to like everyone go to college, everyone go to college. If you don't go to college, there's something wrong with you, right? And it ultimately came down to me making the decision, is this something I want to pursue? Do I want to pursue a degree in business, or is that just what I feel pressured from, friends, family? And there's a lot of people who are stuck in the waiting place and they're not really sure what they want to do with their life, but they take wisdom and advice from their elders or from their parents of like what they should do and everything. I came out here for the summer and I was originally intending on going to college, but in my heart, I didn't want to go to college. And I came out here and I was immersed in the culture of what we did as a company. Not only were we making insane money on the doors, selling community solar, which is really not even a sale, but what we're doing on the doors. And then we come home, we eat clean. We diet, we go to the gym, we sauna, cold plunge. We do everything self-improvement wise to better ourselves, which just makes us a better rep on the doors. So ultimately, that is also what kind of brought me to this company. There's a lot of sales companies out there, but not every sales company does what we do. At Royalty Renewables, we're always pushing each other to be the best version of ourselves, ultimately making us the best reps in the doors. But yes, sir, came out here, I saw the ad interest, immediately sparked a lot of interest in it. Came out here, gave it a shot, and then yeah, it was straight up from there. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So interesting. So you saw something online. Is that how you found out originally?
Yep, I saw an ad on Instagram actually.
Cool. Cool. And that's a lot of the people that are seeing this are probably going to be in a similar position. The ads go out there, and the goal, it's sort of difficult because the goal is like, hey, we want to change people's lives, but there's so much fake stuff out there that you see something, you're like, no way it's real. And then you
Right.
got a kid like you that comes out here and just life changing immediately, like within 2 months. What would you say to those that are maybe like watching this and like, I don't know, man. Like, I think I'm still going to do college or whatever. Like, how would you kind of explain to them what you've learned?
Absolutely. Great question. So at first, I was on the same, I was like, oh, is this real? Is this a legitimate opportunity? Is it just like a scam? Like, what's going on? Well, I gave it a shot. A guy named Carson actually reached out to me, gave me a call. And then I was like, oh, wait, this is actually legit. This is actually a legitimate business operation. I would say to the guy who's in college and kind of like wondering what you're doing with your life. College, honestly, it might have been great 10, 20 years ago, but nowadays, if you don't know anything about college, everyone's just using AI cheating in school. You're not really even learning anything, and most of your jobs are just going to be replaced by AI in general. And look, if you want to pursue a degree, that's on you. But you come out here to Royalty with no prior sales experience, no having to pay for anything, not having to pay for housing, and you get traveled out here for free. You get to learn all these sales skills, be in the best group of guys you could possibly live with to always like literally better yourself every day and make the most amount of money possible. In today's generation, you literally can't beat an opportunity like this. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity that Royalty Renewables is providing for so many individuals. So this is why I tell people to come out here. Yeah, like I said, if you're in that complacent 9 to 5 job or you're wondering what you're going to do, you're partying, you're not really locked in or structured, you only have one life. You might as well maximize your life to the fullest. Come out here to Royalty, that's what it does for you. It really does.
I love it. And we'll probably dive back in the culture here in a minute. But I want to hear from you. And I know it's fresh, but what does it feel like making that kind of money? Like describe the feeling and maybe your confidence or whatever has, sort of
Right.
identity, whatever has shifted. Like how does it feel to go from, were you working in high school at all?
So yeah, so when I was on break from my school, I worked at Lowe's Foods. It's like a little grocery store stocking shelves. I did it for like 3 weeks, and the most I probably made was like $800. But what's crazy is the time value of money is insane out here. Like I made 800 yesterday, but
That's
that's like 6, 7 hours. But like how is it even possible? It doesn't make sense. But that really is like the difference between like a minimum wage job versus what we do out here and the commissions we're making doing this. But yeah, it really is incredible. What to do with my money? I need to be smart about my money. I opened up an LLC, definitely writing a lot of things off, all my expenses and whatnot, putting everything in savings.
just curious about that real quick. How did you come up with the LLC idea? Was that something that was brought up to you? Did you Google it?
Carson brought it up to me because I didn't know like we could do it with this company, but we are essentially 1099 independent contracted, so you can create an LLC through Royalty Renewables, and then you get paid to your LLC. You write off your expenses because everything we do out here is an expense,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you're able to get taxed a lot less out here. So it's
Yeah.
great.
So you
Yeah.
got guidance, not necessarily, I want to be clear, like not like tax and financial guidance, but you got mentored by people that have already done that. They're steps
Right.
ahead of you. And they said, hey, not only are we gonna teach you how to make money, but we're gonna show you, hey, the best steps to do that. Like to not step in potholes that we've all been in. And you got that
Exactly.
guidance. That's
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
I think that's super rare. And I think that's something that's understated. And I've actually brought it up to I was talking to someone recently. I can't remember who it was, but I was like having a conversation about our company. And they're like, do you guys give them advice? Well, give them a guidance on that. And they were shocked at how much we talk about it. I don't know
Yeah.
if you dove into it yet, but in the past we've had guys usually that are, we tend to bring in people that's to speak that are on the younger side because they relate with that younger pressure of like having money young and wanting to go buy and show off and things, but they'll talk about buying real estate. Like we have a good friend, Adam, who's the owner of the company, and I have a mutual friend who buys a lot of properties. I think he's probably maybe late 20s. The dude buys
Right.
property like every month, if not every week. It's crazy. Came in, spoke to the team. And so we really do try to put resources in front of you that's like, hey, here's how to get financially free. It's one thing to make really good money. It's
Mm.
another thing to set yourself up financially by the time you're 25,
Right.
and then
Exactly.
you don't have to working is no longer a consideration because now you've created sources of income outside of your primary, and I think it's just so unique and in an awesome way. But so outside of like saving and LLC, tell me a little bit about like I really want to hear like maybe you haven't had a big adjustment, but how does it feel though to like have that kind of money coming in, knowing that you have control over it, you can consistently do that? Has it changed how you see yourself, or you said time value, like what kind of things have like are you looking at differently? Like how do you feel
Yes,
having
so
that kind of money?
money, exactly, right? So not only have I understood more the time value of money, but I've also understood that I have to be like very responsible with the money as well. I'm trying to like max out like my Roth IRA and whatnot and all that. But also the fact that like, having this much money at a young age is very unique and it not really doesn't occur too often for many individuals unless you like come out here or do something else. But coming out here, being responsible with the money, it really, honestly, it feels out of this world. It took me a while to get adjusted. Like when I saw my first checks, I was like, oh my gosh, I just put it in savings. I was like, I can't like touch this. Like this is how do I have like 10 grand in my bank? Like what's going on? So yeah, that was like my first reaction, to be honest with you.
That's
And
awesome.
definitely stayed away from it for a while. And then yeah, just maximizing like the Roth IRA, like everything you can contribute to that is very important. Like you said, to be set up financially by your 25, like that's incredible. And
Yep.
also the fact that you can recruit people out here and you can make over right off them too. That's also amazing. I recruited one of my friends, Adriel, out here. So he's one of my best friends, recruited him out here. So the company is insane. There's so much potential with this and can't wait to see where we're going with this.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, man, it's powerful. And I really like talking or showing potential recruits that are just like considering the company the idea of like, hey, you will change how you see yourself when you realize what your value is in the marketplace when you learn a skill that actually teaches you how to make money. And it's not even like a lot of times when you hear opportunities like that, it's like you got to go sell friends and family. I know my first job outside of school was selling friends and family insurance, and it was the worst feeling having to
Mhm.
call people I know, hey man, how's it going? Knowing you're about to pitch them. And
Right.
this is completely independent of your life. You don't have to tell anybody you're doing it if you don't want to. When you make checks like that, it's hard not to want to tell people. But
Right.
like it's just you can go out there on a silo and like obviously tell your parents and stuff, but like you don't your friends don't need to know, and you come back with enough
Exactly.
money to go out and pick up a tab and or like go out have a dinner and not think about it, and now you get to enjoy life from the fruits of your labor
Right.
versus working hours at a grocery store or something like that that's just like nickel and diming your way to just being afloat, not even saving
Right.
really.
Exactly. Nailed it on the head there.
So tell me a little bit about who you think is a good, like, so you obviously brought your friend in. Who's the perfect person, man? Who will see this and be like, yo, dude, you got to get out here.
Right. It's someone who wants drive and determination, somebody who understands that their life is valuable and that they should always maximize every moment they're given on this earth. Because especially at our age, like that's what we need to do, like maximizing and leveraging our time, literally just increasing not only our wealth, our physical fitness, bodies, spiritual everything right here. That's like this is how you maximize that is by coming out here and doing this and not by poisoning your body, rushing a fraternity, just going to college, being in a complacent relationship, doing all the things just to barely skim by life, working a 9 to 5. If you really want to challenge yourself and you really have that burn, or you feel like, oh wow, this my whole life I've been doubted, like people have hated on me my whole life, like what, like that kind of thing. Like I want to prove them wrong, like that kind of burn that's inside of you. Be perfect if you came out here. You are able to prove the people wrong. You're able to build the life you've always wanted for yourself. You're able to set yourself financially free, be in the best shape of your life. That is why everyone should come out to royalty, but especially if you have that burning passion.
Love it. I love it. And one more aspect that I think it's not as common, but we do see it is like people with military background or like you said, like
Right.
coming from military school. How do you feel like that translates? Because I'm sure a big fear of theirs, I'm guessing I wasn't in the military, but I'm guessing like having the regimented lifestyle, a big fear, a general thought of sales and door to door is that the team's just like, I remember one person told me that like he worked with a team and they just like roller hot dogs from QT, just slamming those Monster Energy, walking out to the doors. And I was like, that's not at all what our culture is. So someone who's
Oh,
maybe coming from a really regimented background, how did you fit in with what you're talking about with the culture of working out, discipline? Like, how did that fit in with what you were used to?
exactly. I would say schedule, like keeping the same schedule of a time we do this, we do that. We could wake up this time, wake up this time, more regimented that way. So instead of like the formations and discipline that way, I kind of structured it towards like how can our team always be dialed? How can we always be doing culture consistently and staying on the doors consistently and making sure we're maximizing our profit and potential, leveraging everything possible. I think that's been the biggest thing with like the regimented lifestyle I was living for like a year and a half. So that's definitely been a major help to our team. And just overall, yeah, I would say that's like been the biggest thing for me, time management. Absolutely. Always letting a fire under me to keep going.
Love it. Well, dude, this is great. I appreciate you doing this. I think hopefully people are going to see this and really resonate with you. And it might even be a good idea for us to do like a few months from now, another catch up and just see how things have changed. Because I love
Absolutely.
that you can just get started and just start running. You really don't have to. There's no like super slow learning period. There's obviously times where, like, I want to set a good expectation. It's not easy. You get out there and you're going to learn new things. You're going to be in uncomfortable environments. But man, you lean into that and you become a different person. You write your own check essentially,
Exactly.
which is awesome. So you're a perfect example of that, brother. I appreciate you. Any other things you would want to share with someone that's maybe considering it?
Yeah, if you're maybe considering coming out here, you're on the fence about this, not really quite sure, just give someone a call that's here. They can tell you about their experience, They can let you know, answer your questions. I mean, really, I mean, if you think this is a legitimate business or you just think it's a scam, just give someone a call. Give myself a call, give Alec a call, anybody that works at Royalty, really. I mean, that's just your biggest opportunity to like, answer all of your questions. But yes, this is legit. We are making this kind of money. Yeah, it's not easy at times, but yes, we have the best culture in the world. We always are working out, bettering ourselves, making the most money possible. Please come out to Royalty. You're not going to regret it.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll drop maybe your Instagram below or something because I love doing that. There's a lot of like make money opportunities and they'd never give out like people that work there. And I'm
Right.
like, dude, here's 30. Like, you just go
Right.
find one and I'll give you you know what I mean? It's the best thing
Exactly.
in the world to just be like, go ask them themselves. Well, all right, but look, I appreciate you, man. We'll do a few month catch up on it. Really solid though. I appreciate your advice.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for having me. You take care now.